welcome to this video designed to help you run a level up. Level up is a really fun game. It's designed generally to be used when people are staying inside of a building and that they're all together. It's full of photos and videos, so it's been very heavy on the photos and the videos. However, they are generally set to auto score, which means it automatically gives them maximum points. However, you would still need to go through and select the items for the end presentation. As with all of our face-to-face in-person events, they are a little bit different. This one is a little bit more set in stone because they will all be in a shared space and generally in a meeting room or a conference place. So this one, you won't really tend to find people are joining on individual phones to watch. However, things can change. So here is the briefing. As always, for these face-to-face events, I will have a holding screen up for when people arrive, because it may well be that they're logging on to this call in advance, or they might be logging on whilst everyone's sat there watching. And so to have a holding screen on means that you're not going to be on screen the entire time. And also, if you have some background music attached to the screen, it means they can check that the audio feed is being heard down at their end as well. So you can have this as a holding screen. And once you're ready and get the thumbs up that everyone's good to go, you can get into the briefing. Well, welcome everybody to your activity today. My name's Dave, and I shall be explaining how this all works in just a few moments. First things first, do you have the app downloaded called Mobile Adventures? I hope you do. If you do, great news. If you don't, go to the App Store, type in Mobile Adventures and download that to your phone. Ideally, everybody in each team will have the app, but as long as 2 or 3 of you have it, then that's the main thing. Now, can I see everybody? I can see most people here. Give me a thumbs up or a cheer if you know what team you're in and what team number it is. If you do, great. If you don't, please make sure somebody in the room assigns a team number to each team before the game gets going. Otherwise, it's going to get very, very confusing. Now, I'm going to show some slides on screen. I'm going to talk through how this all works. If you have any questions, feel free to come down to the screen at the end and ask those questions. Welcome everybody to your level up activity. The aim is simple. Quickly work your way up the levels and score as many points as possible. The team with the most points will be crowned the winners. Now, at the end of this briefing, I'm going to put a game code on screen. It's the same code for everybody. Grab your phones, chuck the code into the app, and then hit that download game button. Next, it'll say select your team. And this is why it's very important that you know your team number, and it's different to everybody else's. When you select your team number, that will assign you to the team in the game. So have a look through the list and select your team number. It'll then say, are you the captain or the player? At this point, stop what you're doing, chat with the team, and work out which one of you will be the captain. It's important that your team has a captain, otherwise you can't score any points. You'll all play the game, you'll all see the questions and the tasks. However, it's the captain's device where the team will enter the team's answers. So if you're the captain, hit yes, I'll be captain. For everybody else, you're going to hit I'll be a player. The next screen to automatically open up is the selfie screen. All you need to do here is put your face in the middle of that circle and press the circle to take your selfie. Underneath where it says player name, you're going to put your own name into there. So not the number and not your team name. This is so we can identify whose phone is whose in our system. So make sure you add your selfie and your name. Then hit join game at the bottom of the screen. Now, the next screen you see will be this one here, and I want you to do all of this before you move too far from this screen, because that way, if you have any issues in joining, you can come and chat to me on this computer. Once you've got to this screen, check with the rest of the team who's joining and make sure that they have all done it successfully as well. And when you're ready, all of you on your own devices can hit tap here to start. Remember, the quicker you do this, the quicker you'll get into the game. Now, you'll go through to a couple of screens, which I'm not going to show you now. It's just stuff you need to read and agree to. But eventually, you'll come back to this main game screen. You'll see on this game screen, there are 9 levels in total. And your mission is to work through as many of these levels as you can. The higher up the levels you go, the more points are available. To start with, only number 1 is available. So you click on that on your phones, and it will take you to your first section and task to score some points. Here's an example of what a question will look like in the game. So the question itself is at the top of the screen, tells you how many attempts you have to get it right. Sometimes there'll be a picture or a video for more information. And then on the captain's device, there'll be an answer box to type out the team's answers. All other players, you'll see everything you see here, apart from you won't have the box to type the answer in. Once you've finished with number 1, you go back to the main screen and number 2 is now available to move on to. And then 3, 4, and 5 until you've completed level 1, and then you move on to level 2. Now, some of the tasks you face won't be question and answers. There'll be video or photo challenges like this one on screen now. And again, it will tell you what we want to do at the top of the screen. There'll be a photo or a video for more information. And then as you can see here, there is a little button that says record video, or it might say take photo. Again, this will appear on the captain's device. You'll then be able to review them before submitting them to me, where I will score them lots of points. I'm going to score these based on a couple of things. 1, your execution of the challenge and how many of you are in the photo or video. The second and most important one is how funny they are. The funnier they are, the more points I'm going to give them. It's very simple to please me. Just make them funny. Now, should you complete all 9 levels, you will open up bonus level 10. Ooh, even more points available as well. Here's a quick look at the menu function, and this is where you'll be able to click on tasks and go through to the different questions and things that can score you points. You'll also be able to click on messaging. That's where you can send me a message if you have any issues. You'll be able to see the scoreboard until towards the end of the game, where I'll make it disappear. And the only reason you'll really need to use settings is if you need to switch your captain. Let's just take a quick look at the different categories you're going to come across. We have creative, cerebral, observational, physical, and potluck. Now, some top tips from me: the higher the level you go, the more points available. So get through the game quickly and you'll score bigger points. Now, photo and video challenges are worth lots of points, so put lots of effort into those and really have fun with them. And also make use of the space around you and anything that you can find that can go in the photo and the video with you. If you are in a venue where there are other people in the venue and they're not playing, then please respect them and the venue for other people who may be using it. And finally, allow permission for the app to access the camera and the microphone. Health and safety now. This is a low-risk event, so please be aware of your surroundings and make sure you're not doing anything dangerous. Any minor injuries, please contact me or the venue. If anything serious, obviously we know to dial 999. Should you need any help at all, then please drop me a message using the messaging function in the app, or you can just come and return to this call. I'll be here the entire time. The game will finish at 12:45. At that point, I will start the results. So if you have moved away from the space that you're in now, make sure you're back at the table at your space for 12:45. If you have any questions, feel free to come down and ask them now. If there's too many people in the room, you can come towards the computer and ask me once everybody starts to join the game. So here is the game code at the bottom of the screen and a reminder of what you're about to do. It is time to play. So get together with your team, enter the game code into the app, select your team number and make sure one of you is captain. Enter your name and take your selfie and then click join game at the bottom of the screen. You have 1 hour from now to get into the game and score as many points as possible. Good luck, everybody. So that is the end of the briefing, but that screen for me would stay on for a lot longer and repeat some of the key information, which obviously I'm not going to show you right now. A lot of these events, there'll be maybe 20 to 100 people in a room, so they may find some of them come to the computer to talk to you. Hopefully you can hear them if it's picking up their audio. Of course, you can use the chat on whatever video platform you're on as well to sort their issue out. Now, with this particular game, you are quite likely going to be on a big screen in a room where they are potentially going to be staying, although sometimes they will bleed out into the hallways and other places around the venue that they're at. So with that in mind, you may not want to be on screen the whole time, but we don't just want to turn our camera off or leave away from the call because we need to maintain a presence there. What I have personally done, and I'm happy to share this with anybody who wants to get in touch, is I created a virtual background, and the virtual background goes behind here, and I can simply turn the camera off and it says time to play. If you need help, message in the app, or you can speak to us on here. And I put the bit in brackets at the bottom there, just so they know that we're not just disappearing, we are actually busy working. Now, the reason I do this as a virtual background and turn the camera off is so that if I were to perhaps share a slide with this on, there is a potential risk that you might share some audio when you're scoring these videos, or when you try and go to full screen, it will remove the presentation that you're sharing. And so for me, from my experience so far, just changing my virtual background and turning the camera off or blocking the screen works better and more efficiently for what I wanted to do. But again, that's up to you how you do that. Some things to point out or for this particular event, but also to cover all in-person, face-to-face events. Photos and videos, obviously there's loads of them in Level Up, so it's really key to stay on top of that. Auto scoring is generally switched on, but that does mean you may have to take points away from photos or videos which are really poor if they're just taking a picture of the floor, etc. So try and stay on top of that, otherwise people will begin to suss that they're just getting automatically given points. Videos and photos in this environment work as normal. If they're all watching on their phones, then probably best to do less videos, but generally for Level Up, they are all in one shared space looking at a big screen. It's definitely worth messaging them in the game to make sure they know that you are still there and still have a presence. If you feel that you can come on screen and talk to them to say just half an hour left to go, or that's half the time up, then you can do. It's just generally you don't know whether you've been muted in that venue by someone who's on top of the audio, or perhaps they're only going to half hear what you say and then feel like they've missed something. So that's up to you to judge how that goes. With the briefing, again, because they're all in the same space, they may not be paying attention as well as they would do on a virtual event. So it's best try not to be too funny or over speak if you can avoid it. Just repeat the basic information as much as you can. If they do have questions, they'll come down and ask. Try and keep on top towards the end of the game to let them know that they have 15 minutes left. They only have a certain amount of minutes left. There's only seconds left to go, just so you ensure that they know if they have moved away from the main space that they're in, that they need to get back there for the results. This will produce lots of photos and videos, as I mentioned. The old McDonald ones are really great for this as well, and you will have lots of content to work with. It's really refreshing to see everybody together in one space, as with all the face-to-face events. Hopefully this video comes in handy for you and you have a great event, and hopefully I'll see you very soon. Take care.